In November 2025, China's factory activity fell into its longest contraction streak on record, 8 straight months of declining manufacturing output. It's a slowdown that signals more than a temporary dip. It reflects weakening global demand, geopolitical pressure, and deep structural challenges inside the world's second-largest economy. Today, we're breaking down why China's factories are slowing, how this affects global markets, and what it means for the United States and the broader world economy. According to China's official manufacturing PMI, November came in below 50, marking yet another month of contraction. Reuters calls this the 8th consecutive month of decline. Bloomberg highlights it as the longest slump in modern Chinese economic records. CNBC reports factory activity edged up slightly, but emphasized it remains firmly in contraction territory. Why does this matter? Because the PMI, the Purchasing Managers' Index, is one of the most widely used indicators of industrial health. Below 50 means factories are shrinking, not expanding. This November decline wasn't just a blip. It represents the continuation of a much larger economic problem. Let's break down the causes. CNBC specifically notes that fading holiday demand hit China's services and manufacturing sectors hard. Normally, October and November are strong months due to holiday orders for the US and Europe. But this year, importers ordered less, consumers bought less, and retail inventories stayed high. The world simply isn't buying like it used to. Even though China and the United States announced a limited trade truce, tariffs remain elevated on many categories of goods. Japan Today and AP News both note that the trade war continues to cast a long shadow. For many manufacturers, the once lucrative US market is now uncertain, and in some sectors, shrinking. The real estate sector continues to weigh down China's entire economy. Developers have collapsed, buyers aren't confident, local governments are drowning in debt, and manufacturing depends on a healthy domestic economy for raw materials, financing, and consumer spending. When the property sector stumbles, factories stumble with it. Labor shortages and rising wages continue to squeeze exporters. Some industries are moving production to Vietnam, India, and Mexico. We are watching a slow relocation of global manufacturing away from China. It's not just factories. Several outlets, including CNBC and CNA, report that China's services sector also dipped in November. Hospitality, logistics, retail, and e-commerce showed slower activity. That means consumers inside China are also pulling back. When both factories and services weaken simultaneously, it signals a much broader slowdown. Chinese officials set a 2025 GDP growth target of around 5%. But as AP News and multiple outlets point out, hitting this number now looks increasingly challenging. China's July-September growth was 4.8%, but even that figure was boosted by government intervention, subsidies, and stimulus spending. With manufacturing contracting for 8 months, economists warn the 2025 target may be unrealistic without significant intervention. A slowdown in China doesn't stay in China. It shapes the global economy in 3 major ways. A. Global supply chains will shift further. Businesses that once depended on Chinese factories are diversifying or decoupling. India, Vietnam, Mexico, Indonesia, and the US itself stand to gain production capacity. This trend was already happening. November's numbers accelerate it. B. Commodity markets will feel the pain. China is the world's largest consumer of steel, copper, oil, coal, rare earths. Slower manufacturing means reduced demand for raw materials. Expect lower commodity prices, weaker mining stocks, and shifts in global logistics. C. A slower China means a slower global economy. China accounts for nearly 30% of global manufacturing output. When China slows, the world slows. Lower corporate profits, lower shipping volumes, lower global growth forecasts. Investors are watching this closely, especially as the US, Europe, and Japan face their own economic headwinds. For the US, China's slowdown has both risks and opportunities. Risks: retail shortages on certain goods, higher prices if supply chains are disrupted, volatility in U.S. stock markets, pressure on tech companies dependent on Chinese components. Opportunities: more reshoring of U.S. manufacturing growth for American industrial firms, strengthening of U.S.-based supply chains, increased leverage in trade negotiations. Companies in North Carolina, Texas, Ohio, and Michigan may benefit as U.S. production expands. Most analysts agree on three things. More government intervention is coming. Beijing will likely roll out new stimulus programs to support manufacturers and property developers. Structural reform will be unavoidable. China must address aging demographics, falling birth rates, declining productivity, excessive debt. The world should expect slower long-term Chinese growth. The era of 8%, 10% annual growth is over. The China of the 2030s may look very different from the China of the 2000s and 2010s. China's November 2025 factory slump isn't just another economic data point. It's the clearest sign yet that the world's manufacturing engine is losing momentum and that global economic power is shifting. As China's slowdown continues into a record-breaking 8th month, the effects will ripple across every continent, every industry, and every economy. The world is watching, and the world is preparing for change.